Good morning and welcome to Gardener Keep. My name is Charisse. I am the host and owner of Gardener Keep LLC, this channel here on YouTube and my page on Facebook. Please hit the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and seek me out on Facebook to support my small business here in Arizona. Today I'm going to be doing a video on pressure canning. Pressure canning scares a lot of people. I know the first couple times I did it, I was nervous too. You've literally got a giant explosive here on your stove, but it's really not that scary once you get used to the process. So like I said, today we're going to be canning pinto beans. I actually cleaned and washed these pinto beans last night, and then I soaked them in water overnight. This morning I got up and I rinsed the beans, and then I put them in my pot here. It's been on the boil for, I don't know, about 10 minutes just to get them hot. I've got 7 jars in my pressure canner. The water's been on, they're warm, and then my canning lids are right over here in some warm water. I know there's been a lot of changes recently that you don't have to you don't have to heat your lids. I don't want to say boil because that's just too much. I'm old school. I've been canning for a really long time, so I have a really hard time in not heating my lids, but I do still place them in warm water. It's not boiling water, it's just enough so that seal will be more pliable when you put it on there. And then I have my canning rings over here. I've got my can grabber, and then my lid, my magnetic lid picker-upper, because I don't know another word for that. Anyway, so that's what we're gonna do right there. And the other thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a little bit of garlic salt to my cans. I know if you are following the canning book exactly, it tells you just to use salt, but I put a little bit of garlic salt in all of my stuff. So I'm just going to take my jars out. I put a little bit of water in the bottoms of them just so it heats more evenly. So I'm just going to dump that out. I'm going to do 2 at a time. Normally I would do more, but I'm going to go a little bit slower because I am showing you guys what to do. All right, so we've got our hot jars and our hot beans. So I'm just going to take and use my ladle here, and we're going to scoop our beans out, and we're going to put them right in there. And then I put the beans in before I did this, but I'm going to put my garlic salt. I'm going to use a tablespoon. These are and so we'll just put that much garlic salt in each jar. It is a tablespoon of garlic salt, and then we will continue filling with beans. And then we're going to add water to the 1 inch mark. Let me actually explain that to you real fast because I don't know how many people have actually ever done canning. All right, and then we'll just keep repeating this process. Until your jar is full. So it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. And then what you're going to do after you've got your jars filled, you're going to take a clean, damp washcloth, and you're just going to wipe your rings off. Just like that. And then you're going to, with your magnetic grabber, you're just going to pick it up and you're going to set it on your jar here. And then you're going to put your rings on and tighten. And I just do it finger tight. And then, because these get hotter, the more liquid you add, obviously they get warmer. So then I'm just going to transfer them back in here like that. All right, so I've got my jars here. I've got my beans going here. If you start running out of water, you can add hot water. So we're just gonna repeat the process now. We're gonna take our hot jars out and we're gonna set them here on the counter. And we're gonna add our garlic salt or whichever seasonings. You can just do salt, you can do no seasonings, whatever you want. As you can see, I actually had planned to do 7 jars, but I must have miscounted when I was putting in my beans, because I'm only going to be able to do 5 jars with what I have in this pot. One of the problems is this pot doesn't hold as much as I would like it to. So as you can see, that process was not hard. Took me 11 minutes in total, and that was with me finding some stuff that I took out and off the screen, but I literally took me 11 minutes to get all of those canned and ready for processing. Now to process them, you're going to have your pressure canner. Mine is a weighted gauge, so I have. And then you're gonna find your arrows wherever my arrow went. So my arrow is right there. I don't know if you can see that. I'm gonna line that arrow up with my arrow on my handle. You're gonna slide it together, and then you're just gonna let it boil. It'll boil and get hot until steam starts coming out of the pressure canner right here. It'll come out in a steady stream, and then you'll start watching your dial gauge. Let's see if we can get you guys over here and we can see this. Okay, so we're almost ready. I'm gonna put our weight on there. I don't know if you can see that very well, but you can see how it's coming out nice and steady, has a break in it every once in a while. But other than that, our steam is ready, and we are gonna put our weighted gauge on now. So you can see it just like that. So our steam is ready. It's pretty consistently running there, and I'm just gonna put our weighted gauge on top, and this process will start. We're going to watch our temperature gauge here. We're going to go up to 15 because that is a 15-pound weight. And given our elevation, that is what we can everything at. So stay tuned. And we have success. So as you can see, our valve plugged it. We will start building pressure. It'll take a little bit. This is probably one of the longest processes besides timing out that 90 minutes. So we are gonna wait, we are gonna let it rise. We will not start our timer until we hit that 15 PSI. I know I've said that a couple times, but that is super important there. And we'll be back. As you can see, we're building pressure. We are up to 10. Once I get to 15, I will adjust my stove. I know on my stove that I need my dial at 1.5. This is a gas stove. We use natural gas. I've never canned on an electric oven, so I can't give you any guidance there. I've been told not to do it. But I know a lot of people claim that they do. So like I said, we are building pressure, and then once we do, we will start our 90-minute timer. And once you hit pressure, your weight is going to start to jiggle, and your dial will be at 15, because that's what my weight is, and whatever your weight is, it will jiggle as well. So we have success. We are canning. We will start our 90-minute timer, and we'll see you back here after a while. Move the weight, and it's going to let out a little bit of more steam, not too much. I let it cool down for quite a while this time. Our stop is already down, and this is still very, very hot, so we're just going to twist it open, and very carefully, we're going to take the lid off and take it back. As you can see, the steam rises. It is still very hot. You've got to Be careful everything you're doing at all times when you're pressure canning, because this thing will stay hot for a very, very long time. And as you can see, our beans are done. So they're still gonna boil. I don't know if you can see that. We may have to move the camera. They'll still boil for quite a while here in the pot, but we're just gonna pull them all out and we're gonna let them set for the next 24 hours without touching them. They'll just sit here on the counter. I've got dinner in the crock pot, so it won't be a big deal. So this was pressure canning beans, an incredibly simple process, time consuming. You can't leave the house, you can't leave it unattended. I mean, you can go outside, but you can't like go to the grocery store. This is something you do have to watch, but not a scary process, just a longer process. So our 90 minutes is done. We've let the pressure canner go all the way back down to 0. Please send me a message if you have any comments or questions. I look forward to hearing from you, and I hope my videos have given you a little bit insight into basic pressure canning with pinto beans. We used pinto beans because they were cheaper, and if something happened or you had a jar failure, it wasn't a lot of money that would be wasted. I appreciate you tuning into my channel. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my page, and find me on Facebook at Gardener Keep LLC, where you can see all of our other adventures in canning, pressure canning, gardening, hydroponics, and just random stuff we do around the house. Thank you and have a great day.